Right, how are we doing, everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today what we're going to be doing is talking about a kind of 1, 2, 3 method. Basically, we're starting to look a lot more at how we're practicing. Here, coming in towards the spring, not that far away, so a lot of golfers still trying to make swing changes. The main reason why amateur golfers struggle to make a swing change is the way in which you practice. What we're starting to do, and what I'm starting to document with the live lessons and a bit in today's lesson as well, is your best way of making a swing change is to put yourself in a scenario which forces you to make a change. So today we're going to be talking about how the ball position and your feet alignment can force you to basically deliver a better impact position just with a small amount of information. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Let's go and have a little closer look at this in detail. Okay, so the movement on the channel basically, as you're going to start seeing with a lot of the live sessions and also what we're going to be documenting with myself and George, is that what we're trying to do is give you more drills and feelings and exercises that are going to make you do a swing change without being aware of doing a swing change. And you know, what George has noticed drastically since we've been messing around more with this is, although the swing wasn't a million miles away from where we needed to be, what George was just struggling with a little bit on the golf course is we were starting to think too much about what was happening rather than kind of just reacting to it and feeling it and just being able to focus on starting directions. So it's kind of led us both to thinking about, okay, we're going to have to look at what you're doing with practice. What's also coincided is that I've seen it with other people that I've been giving lessons to, and it's kind of changing my movement a little bit in terms of my approach towards what I would normally do. So what we've got is we've kind of got this example of sort of 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, whatever it might be. But the idea is that you're going to have different levels of severity on the task in hand. Okay, so if you kind of get set up, so what we've got at the moment is George is going just square with the mat and pretty parallel with his alignment, and the ball position pretty normal. What we might suggest is that position number 1 is, what would you say, ball position?
Yeah, move it forward.
Move it forward. So ball position goes like 5 inches, 5 to 6 inches left of center. Now, what will happen is if you kind of swing back and then come in towards pre-impact, if you kind of flipped a little bit too much, then what will happen is that upon the collision of the club face is going to be pointing towards the left-hand side, right? So A, or should we say number 1, is just to kind of encourage you to get the hands further forward. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of helping you control that low point much more, right? So if you kind of hit that one, club-wise, it's up to you. You know what I mean? You can do it with a mid-lofted, a low-lofted club. What you got there, like a 5, 6, yeah. So George is still going with a 6. If you feel happy doing it with a wedge, then do it with a wedge. Anyway, the point is that you would do this exercise until the point where you would start to feel more comfortable. So as soon as that feels comfortable, then what you need to do is you need to mix it up. Now, the second stage, again, it resembles the severity of how much it should feel different. So not only is George going to now move the ball position the same distance further forward, you can see the way now he's actually opened up his stance. And then again, the task in hand, exactly, nice shot, is to do exactly the same sort of thing. So the point is as George keeps doing this, and you just keep firing a few on that second task for a moment. Generally speaking, people who come for golf lessons that are kind of coming here for advice in terms of how to develop their game, my general suggestion is that, and you're going to see this again with the live lessons, is okay, well, what you need to be able to do is you want to be able to first and foremost eliminate, in my opinion, 1/2 of the golf course is the easiest way to play. So you kind of get rid of a 2-way miss. Therefore, that means that you've got to get your hands further forward ahead of the ball, which means then your elbow's got to drive more, right? And then you've got to kind of match all these things up. And that's kind of like, that would be my sort of best approach in terms of what you're trying to do with impact. So doing these sort of exercises are things that are going to, really improve a golfer. And then the third position would be to push yourself to a boundary. Now, the thing about the 1, 2, 3, or the A, B, C, or whichever way you want to look at it, easy, medium, very difficult, is it's consistently going to change, isn't it? So obviously number 1 might stay the same, but number 2, these tasks will get harder and harder as time goes on. Yeah, good try. So what are you trying to do with this sort of exercise? Well, what you're trying to do is, George, if you kind of just go back to that one, yeah. What the point is 1, so if you kind of swing up and bring it down, it trains you to kind of do more these sort of movements. And I'm seeing this with all sorts of different ranges of golfer. So that's the first thing it's doing. The second thing is that you might go down to the driving range and over time you neutralize it. So can you aim parallel for me first and just neutralize the ball position as well? Thanks. And then, so aim like 50 yards left with your feet. Yeah, so you might learn how to hit it straight from there. Then you might go 40 yards left. or 40 degrees left. Then you might go 30. Do you know what I mean? Then 20 and 10. Yeah, so what we're going to see over the upcoming future on the channel is much more progression in terms of what's your better method of practicing. And I think this is going to be something that's going to help a lot of golfers out. So hopefully enjoy the video. Definitely something that you need to start practicing with, start messing around, coming out of that comfort zone. That's the point. Maybe you start off with that sort of first scenario, which is just a little bit unusual. Then you push the boundaries a little bit more. Then you push the boundaries to the extremity. The idea is that you basically, at some stage in your practice, as soon as it starts to feel comfortable, you need to stop doing it. And that's kind of the problem with training aids. There's some amazing training aids out there, but the problem is if you live on the training aid forever, eventually that kind of subconscious learning is just going to wear off and you're just going to start becoming too aware of what's going on. So that's what we're trying to do on the channel. Catch you with you soon.